How's it going, everybody? I'm Kevin Monahan. This is my little slide presentation. I'll do just a quick slide presentation. I'll show you a quick demo of the new version of Premiere Pro, which is coming soon. First of all, I am Kevin Monahan. I'm the support product manager for digital video and audio applications. The one thing you should know about Adobe is that we do have support options for you if you're having trouble with your software or your camera's not working right with Premiere or After Effects. We do have support forums, forums.adobe.com, that you can go to. You can join our community. You can help others by answering questions, or you can put your own question down if you have any problems with our software. So I'm there in those forums on a daily basis, trying to help you solve your issues. Okay, just a little bit about Adobe in 4K and beyond. In the CS5 era, when I first came to Adobe, that's when we began to support 4K. And that's when we completely rebuilt the architecture of Premiere Pro. And basically, Premiere Pro harnesses some hardware, specifically your GPU, for additional performance. So that's when it started, some years ago. So Adobe is absolutely not a new player to this game. We've actually been refining our workflows with these really large formats for quite some time. And we're in good standing for continuing to raise the bar. So we're ready for larger camera formats whenever they occur. So we feel we're ahead of the curve in that respect. Yeah, so we started with Red support, and we grew to include almost every other large format camera and format. And then currently almost every camera format under the sun is supported with our digital video and audio tools. So but we've done some pretty cool stuff recently with Gone Girl. It did really well for us and sort of established us as yeah, you can use Premiere in a freaking feature film with David Fincher. So if that's not good enough for you, talk to me and we'll make it happen for you, okay? And then the Coen brothers coming out with Hail Caesar. That was done completely in Premiere Pro. And we worked with the Coen brothers to make sure they got everything they needed. And the same thing goes for Walter Murch, who's quite a well-known editor. It was kind of cool how the whole Premiere Pro and Walter Murch thing happened. It was kind of neat. I was giving a presentation at a user group one day, and Walter's friend, Pat Jackson, was one of his colleagues in sound, said, yeah, Walter and me and Walter want to have a look at Premiere. Can we come down and can you show us? I'm like, sure. And so I'm sitting there with Walter, and I asked Al Mooney if he wanted to come along, a couple other guys from the product team. All of a sudden, he's like, this is really cool. I really like this. And before long, now he's really totally into Premiere. So he's working on a feature documentary called Coup 53, and that should be very interesting. And of course, there's Sharknado. Another thing I kind of want to mention to you before I get off the stage here is Adobe Anywhere. Before, this was kind of an enterprise class workflow tool, which allows you to share your projects with people all across the planet. And that is still available. It's talk to me if you are interested in enterprise level. But we also recently announced a site-specific version of Adobe Anywhere that's coming soon. More information about this. I don't have all the information because I don't know all of it, because quite honestly, they're still trying to figure it all out. But this should be very exciting for, especially here in Los Angeles area, or like boutique houses, mid-range post houses. So you'll be able to share your projects across the local networks. So that is pretty exciting. Now, just a little bit about Premiere Pro and some of the features that are related to 4K and Ultra HD formats. Some things that are kind of interesting that have happened recently, like when we released CC 2015, we released this thing called the Lumetri Color Panel. So this offers a really awesome way to color correct your footage. I'll show you that in just a second. I'll show you kind of a couple of tricks about it that are kind of useful to know. And we also support like camera LUTs. So if you have a specific LUT that you need to use with your camera, we will support that. You just use the Lumetri effect and choose that LUT, and that will be applied to your clip. We have workflow for RAW files, and I'll show you how to do that. We now have a master clip relationship. So if you place color correction on that master clip, it'll be spread across the entire clip, and you can add it to the timeline with those source settings applied. And the other thing we have is what's called fractional resolution for just playback. It's just a way that you can play back your footage without having to strike proxies. So you can just lower the resolution of how you're looking at the image, and you can have a nice workflow without spending the time to generate proxies, which is pretty cool. One cool, exciting thing is that a new version of Premiere Pro is imminent. It's going to happen. I think the After Effects product manager said that by the end of the month, the After Effects will be out. Premiere Pro and After Effects kind of go hand in hand. We're not very good with secrets, so when you're eating your cold turkey sandwiches, check your Creative Cloud for a new version of Premiere. So a couple real kind of interesting things that are happening with this version. HDR support. So we have HDR support now in the Lumetri color panel and for our Lumetri scopes. So the other thing that is kind of interesting that is happening at this new release is H.265 output. So now you'll be able to output just about any size. So we were kind of limited on the export frame size that we were allowed to export before, but now you can export up to 8K, up to 120 frames per second with your H.265 output, HVAC. So this is Premiere Pro, CC 2015 version 9.1. Looks like I'm having a little trouble with the GPU on the source monitor side. Thing is, I have kind of an underpowered MacBook Pro. I've got only about 1 gig of VRAM here. Take a look at the fractional resolution I'm working with here. 1/16. So let's see if that will play back. So yeah, I'm playing back at 1/16 here, and this is 4K footage. I can go full screen on this if I want. So yeah, 4K footage playing back on my cheap laptop. You know, it's pretty nice at 1/16. I can still see the eyeballs moving around. That means I can edit. Okay, everything is playing back just fine. Let's go back to the interface here, and you can see the little green light there. That indicates I didn't drop any frames. So you can get decent performance without having to, do anything crazy, but just drop the resolution. Let me just show you one thing about the master clip stuff. And here in the effect controls, you can see what formerly used to be the red source. You guys remember the red source panel it used to have? Now it kind of lies here in the effect controls panel. So, so you have control over it right here. Let's just adjust some gamma or something like that. Let's move this more of a green range. And so the clip turns green in the master clip and the associated related clip on the timeline. Now let's take a look at that master clip here. It's kind of green, right? But over here I've got the affiliate clip, and what I can do is over here in the right side, that's the Lumetri color panel. That's where all the new color correction effects are. And what I can do is, let's say, instead of the cool temperature of the master clip adjustment, I want to warm it up. So you can see the master clip does not change. I just changed the color relationship in the timeline. So I can go in here and make all kinds of different adjustments, including, cameralettes here. You got all your cameralettes available. You can load new cameralettes if you don't see your cameralette here. In addition, you've got, so this is all basically how it works. This is all your basic color correction. Down here is more of your creative stuff. And you've got other looks that you can just pop in here and get some really fast and interesting looks. So some very interesting features coming up in here for Premiere Pro in the next version, coming up very shortly. All kinds of really interesting and useful features for 4K and beyond are here. And just all the Adobe tools that you'd expect to be reactive and to work with that footage are available for you. After Effects, Photoshop, and other tools that you use every day.